Today we are going to learn the verb appeler, to call in French in the present tense. Right, what I'd like to do is conjugate the verb appeler, ding, to call in the present tense. Now, appeler can be used in two different ways, as in appeler, I call something or somebody on the phone, and I call myself, as in my name is. Okay, so we use it in two ways. Now, here is the I call somebody. Okay, here it is. J'appelle. I call. J'appelle. Tu appelles. You call. Tu appelles. Il appelle. He calls. Il appelle. Elle appelle. She calls. Elle appelle. On appelle. One calls. We call. On appelle. Nous appelons. Nous appelons. L-O-N-S. I'm going to talk to you about this in a minute. Vous appelez. Vous appelez. So you called, as in the plural or the more formal you. Formal. You. Ils appellent. Double L. Ils appellent. And then elles appellent. So il and elle means they. Okay? So have a look at the spelling of this. Now, appeler is the infinitive verb, so it is to call. It has not been conjugated yet. But look at the spelling of je, tu, il, elle, on, il, and elle. We have added one more L. So, j'appelle, tu appelles, il appelle. Instead of said je appelle, tu appelles, il appelle. It doesn't work this way in French. We add an extra L to make the L sound, except for nous appelons, where we keep the verb as it is, and vous appelez, where we keep the verb as it is. It's one of those funny exceptions to the rules, okay? So you've got that for appeler, modeler, to model, okay? Jeter as well, jeter, and whereby you add a T, extra T, and we've got a few verbs like that, okay? So I refer back to you to some of my verbs on appeler or euler, which if you wanted to learn a bit more about this. Okay, let's have a look at this again. J'appelle, I call. Elle. Il appelle. Now, répétez après moi. Elle appelle. Très bien. On appelle. Nous appelons. And that's where the sound changes. Yeah, so it's not nous appelons, but nous appelons. You keep one L. Vous appelez. Okay. Now the Z sound you hear is because nous and vous end with an S. And appeler begins with a vowel. Ils appellent. Elles appellent. So, if I was to use an example using appeler, now remember, not as in he is calling himself, okay, but he calls somebody. I could say, Tom appelle sa femme au téléphone. Tom appelle sa femme au téléphone. So, Tom is calling or calls his wife. Femme is wife, okay, but it means woman as well. So, his wife on the phone, au téléphone, okay? Another example using appeler as in direct to call somebody, you could say Georges et Rosie appellent leurs enfants pour manger. Georges et Rosie. So what kind of subject pronoun is that if we had to replace Georges et Rosie? It would be they, wouldn't it? Ils, I-L-S. They call, okay? So they are calling their children to eat, okay? À table. Let's come and eat. So, Georges et Rosie appellent leurs enfants pour manger. And then you're going to ask me, how do we use appeler for I call myself, okay? Because that's the word we use for my name is, okay? I call myself, okay? Well, that's this way. If you wanted to say my name is, you would say je m'appelle. Je m'appelle, okay? The me here is what we call the reflexive pronoun, okay? It reflects back on you. So, je m'appelle, I call myself, okay? And you could also say, il s'appelle Tom. Il s'appelle Tom. He is called Tom. Now, again, if you say il appelle Tom, he calls Tom. Okay, that's different from il s'appelle Tom. He calls himself Tom. Do you see the difference? Now have a look at my other video on the verb appeler, as in I call myself. That's it for me. Why don't you leave a comment here and tell me all about your beautiful sentences, which I will correct, and I promise I will. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so already, because they are fantastic. Au revoir, à bientôt, bisous bisous.